What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are looking at doing another Omnibuddy overview. Today we are looking at the latest Kickstarter that just dropped. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago, but with Christmas and the holidays, everything got pushed back. But we are looking at one of the latest Kickstarter drops from Magnetic Press, Small World. All right, so what is Small World? Small World is by Morvan and Toru. Let me do this. Toru Terada. There, a little bit of a tongue twister for me, but it is their creation. Again, Magnetic Press does a whole bunch of really cool things where they bring over award-winning books and stories from over in Europe or wherever that's really not America, and they're not in English, and they get them translated really well. Sometimes the art isn't translated, like if there's signs or something in the art, so sometimes that's left in there, but unless it's important, they might change it. But overall, they do this really good translation and really beautiful presentation, and they run a Kickstarter and they get a ton of backers. They're getting huge. It's awesome to see. And they bring these books to really English print for the first time, and it is so cool to see because some of these guys have been highlighted by Magnetic Press multiple times, like JD Morvan. I've seen him a couple times now, and his stuff is so good. So we are going to get this down and we are going to take a look at Small World. All right, so here is the overview of Small World by JD Morvan and Toru Terada. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This is again by Magnetic Press. We'll hopefully get that in focus here in a second. There we go. By Magnetic Press. They got this really cool foil inlay on there. Super cool. It's all smooth, but a little bit different looking, and then it's got that spot UV on those parts here too. So that is a look at the back of it. If you did not back this on Kickstarter, you can pick it up for $29.99 on Magnetic Press's website, or a lot of the local comic shops also have them. Again, you can use the code in the description of this video for 20% off your first order at magneticpress.com. That helps the channel out too. Let's get this open. It's got a really cool look at Small World, which you'll kind of get an idea of that as we look through it. I'm trying not to spoil this, but I love the art and the colors in this book. Very anime, manga. I mean, they're kind of similar. I mean, obviously manga's, written versus anime is animated, but they're very, it's very much in that style, and very cool to look at. It's obviously glossy pages and pretty thick actually. So really digging it. Overview, quick, it starts off with the rich, the haves, and the have-nots as they're flying in, and you can see there's that, as you can see down there. There's Small World versus the rich upper class kind of a thing. The whole thing is talking about just how the rich view the poor and how they're treated and how it actually is, and they're scared to go in there. They're scared to go to Small World because kind of this lawless society, literally like underbelly, because it's lower underneath everything, but they still want to experience it. So it kind of starts off with this rich girl who's I assume in a private school, something like that, not buying drugs but buying the experience of Small World digitally, which interesting enough. And they have a robotic nanny, and then juxtaposed with Pietro, who is the other main character, who lives in Small World, and his nemesis, and their fight back and forth. And it is gruesome, as you see right away. Kids are absolutely destroyed in it, which is kind of disturbing in and of itself that they show that much. So if that is not for you, granted, I don't know that it's for anyone, but it's, yeah. So really cool, kind of like isometric top-down shots of their rooms. It kind of gives you an idea of the layout, which is cool. Really appreciate that. Very cool, just look at society in the future, you know, from the anarchy of it versus the, you know, the I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Not non-anarchy, but just the organized society. There we go. No chaos versus chaos, and just how people live in these societies. Very cool. Obviously, things happen, and Pietro ends up with these rich people, and he's always tripping out on some drugs and seeing the little nudie fairy, I guess. But you're always seeing this. He's seeing this fairy, and you don't know what's going on. Is she real? Is she not? What's her purpose? So obviously not a kid-friendly book. But things happen. They all end up meeting and end up on a little bit of an adventure in small world, and things unfold, and it gets pretty nuts, honestly. Pretty graphic. There's a great chase scene, super well done. Kids are worth a whole lot in Small World, obviously, because, well, the sex trade and all that, which is pretty gross and disturbing in and of itself. I know that it happens, and it's just a part of life. I'm not trying to blow it off. So, you know, they use that sort of thing in these books, or in the story. I don't like reading it, but I understand that it is a reality, and it's in their reality. But I try and read over that stuff fast if it is happening, or if they allude to it, and try and, you know, sort of block it out of my brain. But yeah, so they get onto a big chase. You know, she's very innocent. Her name's escaping me right now for some reason. The main, you know, Pietro and the girl, and they you know, they rub off on each other. You know, his brashness and doing drugs versus her innocence and thinking the world is one way, him thinking the world is only another way, and how they kind of end up working together and meeting sort of in the middle. Trying to gloss over a lot of this stuff, but because I don't want to give it all away. But you know, how it concludes is relatively quick, actually. Like I said, with a lot of Magnetic Press books, they're a little bit too short for my taste, but it is really cool storytelling and well done. I just wish, you know, they're about like twice as long. I think that would be a good amount. But yeah, wraps up nicely, at least, with some good stuff. I'm gonna skip the last couple pages. Not really much to say about extras, because, well, those are the extras. It does come with a really nice reading ribbon. Not that you really need one, because this book's pretty quick, but I did end up reading it over like 2 sittings, so, you know, I guess reading the ribbon helps. But that is a quick overview of Small World. Alright, so that was a quick overview of Small World by J.D. Morvan and Toru Terada. Hopefully I got that right. Like I said, the book was really cool, very interesting kind of take on the future of society, and how there's the small world and there's the, I guess, normal world, big world. I don't know what you'd exactly call it. but how they interact and don't interact and what happens when they do interact. Very interesting look at just society as a whole and how the rich and the poor, the have-nots and the haves, how they interact and how all that happens. The art is just stellar and it is trippy, just as trippy as a huge portion of the characters are in the book, how tripped out they are half the time. Very cool book. Wish it was a little bit longer. Just like every other look at Magnetic Press's stories, most of them are a little bit too short, but overall they're really cool stories, beautifully presented in art and in the way that they're published with the hardcover format. Now they've done a couple trade paperbacks too. Really excited to see how Shangri-La and the book Carbon and Silicone both look in that gorgeous looking slipcase that they've done. I think those will be hopefully available on Magnetic Press's website. If you want, there is a link in the description that'll get you 20% off your first purchase at magneticpress.com, and that also again helps support the channel, so make sure to do that. All right, that's it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all those things. Let me know in the comments what you're backing lately. There's been a whole slew of Kickstarters. It seems like I haven't talked about, it seems like I'm talking about Kickstarters all the time, but really I haven't highlighted a Kickstarter in a little while. So let me know what you're backing. I'm really excited. I just backed Atomica, God is Red. Book looks insane. So I'm super stoked to get that. Bjorn Volume 2 is going to be hitting the shelves in the next couple months. Stoked about that. Tons of Magnetic Press stuff. They've doubled up, so it's going to be that Carbon and Silicone and Shangri-La slipcase, so 2 books right there. And then I believe I'm getting The Wall also with that. If you ordered False Guard trade paperback, that's coming with it. So tons of Kickstarters that have wrapped, are wrapping, are coming up. Let me know in the comments what I should be looking out for, what everyone should be looking out for Kickstarters. All right, that's it. Remember to take care, stay safe.